Okay, so there seems to be some confusions about how this course is structured. So I thought it best to make this video and I'll put it up on BUX so all of you can access it in case you still don't understand what's going on. So we'll talk about this later, but let me just show you how to access the book again. So you just click here and it brings you to this page. Problem is that this may not always work. In fact, this won't work for most of the time. So if the book does not appear in this page, what you do is just click here, and that should allow you to download the book as a PDF into your device, and that would be an easier way to approach this. For the lecture notes, let's come back to course page. This is where the lecture notes are. So it's in the front page, so let's have a look. So if you click on lecture notes, it brings you to my OneNote page, which I have shared with all of you. It's going to take a while if you have a slow internet. So here, so this is basically the same thing that you will see in the video lectures. But what I tend to do is that after a video lecture is done, I come back to this and I add a few extra information to clarify myself better. So I haven't done it here because this is just a review of Eco 102, but if you look at this here, this is the beginning of our 207 lectures. Let's just wait for it to show up. Every time it rains, the internet stops working. Okay, so here we have the the lecture notes for the goods market. And what you will notice is that I have added a few things like this text right here you wouldn't have seen during the video lectures. I've added some extra explanations here, this bits, what else? I've added some text there, a bit of text here. So what I tend to do is once I finish a video lecture, I come back to this notes and I add the stuff that I think will help in your understanding the material, and then I upload them here. So, I mean, you may find this useful to go through them. Otherwise, obviously, you have the book, which is always the best source, better than my lecture notes. But okay, let's come to the main issue, which is the structure of the course. Okay, so look here, this is for week 1 to week 4. So that's 4 weeks. Each week we have 2 lectures. So in 4 weeks, we're going to have a total of 8 lectures. And I have told you guys exactly what you should do in each of those lectures. So first lecture is just up here, which is a review of Eco 102. So let's just ignore that for now. In lecture 2, you're going to start the goods market. And you see there are a certain number of videos. And that's all you're doing for lecture 2. For lecture 3 and lecture 4, we are going to be doing chapter 4. So from 3.1 to 3.5 are the things you should be doing for lecture 3. 4.1 to 4.3 are for lecture 4, and that is the end of week 2. Then we come to week 3, which has lecture 4 and lecture 5. Lecture 5 and lecture 6. Lecture 5 is from 5.1 to 5.5. Then for lecture 6, we're going to be going through 6.1 to 6.4. And that is the end of week 3. In week 4, we have lecture 7 and lecture 8. Lecture 7 is empty. There's really nothing here. So think of it as a day off. That's because in lecture 8, which is the end of week 4, in lecture 8, you guys will be sitting for a quiz and you'll be submitting assignment 1, 2, and 3, which will be the end of week 4. After that, we come into media run analysis, which will run from week 5 to 8. Week 5 to 8, that's once again 4 weeks, which means 8 lectures. How are these 8 lectures distributed? Lecture 9 and 10, which is week 5, are for chapter 7, which is the labor market. So for lecture 9, you guys go through 9.1 to 9.6. And then for the 10th lecture, you guys go through 10.1, which is the end of week 5. And then for week 6, you guys do chapter 8. For week 7, you guys do chapter 9. And then in week 8, once again, you guys have a quiz and the assignments are due. And then a very similar structure for week 9 to 12 as well. So I hope this was clear enough. If some of you are still confused about what these numbers mean and how many lectures there are in a week, and in any of those basic confusions, please feel free to ask me again and I will explain again. Because if you do not understand this right here, you're going to have a difficult time in this course, since this has to be self-directed. You guys are in charge of your learning outcomes this semester. So please make sure that you understand the structure of the course.